What up, world? 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 It's your man. I am DJ Double Dose, man, coming at you once again with another regular episode of Double Dose of Reality Sports, man. I know we've been live for the last few weeks, man, but hey, we had to get back in the booth, man. I got some things I got to get off my chest. I got some shit we need to talk about, man. So let's get straight into it, man. Thank each and every one of y'all for coming through on the live, man. Hey, LSU. Hey, LSU. Ellis. 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 Yup. You know what? We'll get to LSU in a minute, man. Y'all already read the caption. Look, we have been on this kind of heavy, and it's not because Deion is an FSU alum. It's not because Deion, do you believe, is one of my favorite people in sports. It's because a lot of people doubted the way that Colorado was doing things. They doubted it. Even though he took a one-win team to +3 last year, people still was like, "Oh, it's social media. It's a show. It's not real football. It's this and it's that." You know, to quote this stupid reel that I watch, because I watch a lot of reel from time to time, it was giving very hate. It was giving very, very salty. It was giving very, very. All right, I'm done with that. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of people doubted what Colorado would or would not be able to do in year 2 under Coach Prime. So let's bring it in. Let's start talking serious. And right now, with BYU losing, they kind of already controlled their own destiny prior to the BYU loss. But after the BYU loss, Colorado literally at this point in time control their own destiny. Let's go ahead and bring up the Big 12 standings so you guys can understand and see exactly what it is that I'm speaking about. In case you didn't know. Let's pull it up. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. Now, if you look over to the right here, you see it. BYU sits atop because they have the better record. Obviously, they are 9-1 overall. But when you look at that number in the Big 12, what do you see? You see BYU was 6-1, and you see Colorado was currently 6-1. Now, below that, you see Iowa State at 5-2, and you see Arizona State at 5-2. Okay, those are what we're going to stop right there. But that information is available to you, and I'm stating that because when you look at everything in its totality, right now, the bigger picture is this. With BYU losing and no longer being undefeated in the Big 12, that actually means, which is something that we've already said all along, Colorado controls their own fate. All they got to do is win out. That's it. I know. When you look at the landscape of college football, that is definitely easier said than done to win out because each week we see somebody taking L that ain't got no business taking an L. But when you look at what's left, they have what? They have that same Kansas team. I know, I get it. Same Kansas team that just beat BYU, and they have an Oklahoma State team that looks absolutely terrible. So we'll get back on that later on. But when you look at that, and I want you to embrace it, and I want you to sit back. And can we go ahead and just go ahead and stop the cap? Stop the cap. At this point, who was your Heisman? Who is it? Is it Dylan Gabriel? Who? I mean, we saw Oregon become human this past week. Is it Cam Ward? No. and insert anybody else you want to add. I mean, you got Jeanty. He's doing this thing at Boise, and I have nothing but respect for Jeanty. I think this is going to probably be one of the first years in a while that we've had two players, none quarterbacks, possibly finishing 1 and 2 in the Heisman. But that's a conversation for another day about Travis Hunter, because we already know how awesome he is. He had another awesome performance this past week. Shedeur continues to do magnificent things at quarterback. And at the end of the day, man, Colorado is doing what a lot of us, a lot of people wanted to see, because we wanted to see Coach Prime prove a lot of people wrong. A lot of people tried to say that his way was not going to sustain, that it was not going to work. And when you look at it right now, with 2 games left in the season, they have an opportunity. They have an opportunity. I'm going to say it again. They have an opportunity to not only play in the Big 12 title game, to actually win the Big 12. I'm just going to say this. Me and my pops was talking about this Saturday. My pops, he's not, he watched football, but he don't really watch it nationally like that. He focuses in on his teams and everything else he just comes to me about. And it's okay. But I talked to my pops and I told him, I said, look, tell me somebody, if Colorado manages to win the Big 12 and they get that bye, I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to pose it on the page too, and I want to see everybody's response. Who wants to face Colorado in a 1-game scenario to get to? I'm just asking. Because when you tell me what we've seen from that defense that has been able to, when they needed to, when you show me that, and then they're going to probably have, when you look at the favorites right now, whether you're talking about an Oregon or you're talking about an Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, let's keep going, Penn State, SMU, Miami, whomever you insert and give me top team in the top 10, whomever you say, if they face off with Colorado, Colorado will have the 2 best players on the field. Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in the nation, and Travis Hunter is the best overall player in the nation. You can pin it, clip it. I don't care what you do with that statement, but it is the truth. So hats off to Colorado. Hats off to those who believed in Colorado. And I'm just looking forward to, I hope they go ahead and finish the deal, because look, the one thing that we have seen from week to week to week, because we're going to get to that in just a second. Damn near every week we've seen, whether it's an unbeaten, whether it's a favorite, or somebody taking L that they're not supposed to do. So the odds are not in Colorado's favor that they're going to beat Kansas and that they're going to beat Oklahoma State. The odds are not in their favor, because we've seen it from week to week. But right now, I'm enjoying the ride. I hope everybody else enjoys the ride too. And let's continue to keep watching what we're seeing in Travis Hunter, because let's be honest, we're not finna see this again for a while. It took us a long time to see this. At this point, I don't think we're going to see it again for a while. Somebody that's this efficient on both sides of the ball. He got burnt in this game. And in the game against Utah, they faced adversity. They were winning, but they didn't look good early on. They didn't look good. Colorado didn't look good early on in this game. But this is a different Colorado. And I'm loving what I'm seeing, and I'm enjoying it. Let's move right along. We knew the SEC was going to be flip. We knew the SEC was going to beat each other up. But goddamn, man. Did we think it was going to beat each other up like this? I don't know, man. Like, I just legitimately do not know that we expect the SEC to look like this. I don't know, man. And with Georgia winning and beating Tennessee yet again, Tennessee, I was rooting for y'all. I legit was rooting for y'all, Tennessee. I was legitimately pulling for y'all, man. And when y'all hopped out early, I said, okay, y'all might got a chance. And then and then you didn't. And then you didn't. And right now, what we have in the SEC is a big, massive cluster. I'm not even about to get into how they're going to do this tiebreaker situation because it's still, at this point, too much football left to be played. Georgia's done. They've played their last SEC game. They're done. But everybody else still has games to be played. Bama still has Oklahoma and Auburn. Texas still has Texas A&M. Tennessee said, hey, man, listen. The SEC is going to come down until that last weekend. And if that Texas and Texas A&M game needed to be more stupid, more jam-packed, more storylines, more eyes on, as we keep getting closer to it, that game, I mean, because look, Texas could find themselves on the outside looking in today if they mess around and lose to Texas A&M. And I know that sounds crazy saying it because that would literally only be if they were to lose, that would only be their second loss. But the way this tiebreaker situation goes, there's a strong chance that if they were to lose to Texas A&M, they don't even make it to the SEC title game. I think now, I know I've heard a lot of people say that they think that Texas would be done, period. I don't think that. I think that Texas brand is too big, and I can't see them even in the event if they are 10-2, if they finish the season 10-2 and don't play for the SEC title game. I can't see them leaving Texas out. Now, I could be wrong, but let's be honest. This committee does whatever the hell it wants to do. And when you're starting to talk about at-large bids and a 12-team playoff, what is the number one thing that we know that they want? They want views and they want eyes. And you not going to tell me that a 10-2 at-large Texas ain't going to give you views and eyes. So when I hear people say that Texas would be left out altogether at 10-2, if that happens, I just can't. I can't go along with that logic. Like I said again, I could be wrong, but I can't roll with that, man, because their brand is too big. It's kind of just like, when you talk about the 10-2 Bama, that brand is too big. The way they're lobbying for Georgia. Some brands are just too big. And when you look at the Big Ten, we got a big, huge matchup coming up this week because nobody's giving Indiana any respect. So the Big Ten got the elephant in the room too, because let's be clear. What do they have right now? You got Oregon, undefeated with a head-to-head win over Ohio State. You got Penn State. They only got one loss, which is to Ohio State. Obviously, Ohio State's only loss is to Oregon. And then you got Indiana sitting there undefeated. What do we do with that? You know what I'm saying? Ask yourself, what do we do with that? Only two of them can make it. Only two of them can make it to the Big Ten title game. And then out of the two that make it to the Big Ten title game, out of the other two, which one of them makes it into the playoffs at large bid? Because I don't know what I don't think is going to happen. I don't think we're going to see a conference end up with 4 at large bids. I don't think. Could be wrong, but I don't think so. But the way everybody else is falling by the wayside, we very well could. We very well could, because 2 teams from the ACC is not going to make it. 2 teams from the Big 12 is not going to make it. So when you look at it from that lens, 2 teams from the Big 10, 2 teams from the Big 12, 2 teams from the ACC won't make it. Those open up an extra slot for the Big 10 and possibly an extra slot for the SEC. So I'm just gonna say this, people. I know I one of my people from Birmingham, man, classmate of mine, Jermaine Funnyman, you know, he's a big Bama guy. And even Funnyman said, man, do y'all want to go back to the divisions? No, I don't want to go back to the divisions. You know why? Because it's fun. Everybody doesn't play everybody. And now we get into a situation where, hey, let's see chaos. We always said, hey, we want to see chaos. Well, damn it, we about to get some chaos this year, because the way they're finna sort all of this out, I beg to differ to see anybody that's not going to be entertained, but by the way that they sort this out. Moving along. When I am wrong, I will gladly step to the front of this microphone, look dead into the camera. I don't want to look down, look dead into the camera and say, I was wrong. For all my Florida Gator fans, for Nitty, for Seneca, for Janoy, I'm going to make sure that I pin this, that I clip this personally and drop this for you guys. Because I said at the start of the season, Florida would go either 4-8, best case scenario, 5-7. Well, at this point, you guys got a couple of games left, and you already got 5 wins. And more than likely, all my FSU folks, just bear with me as I say it. Oh, I gotta take a drink. Take a drink. I gotta take a drink. I want to cry. Left, on the right on the left. However that foolishness go. You guys sitting on 5 wins right now. Lagway looks like the truth. And unless FSU decides they want to come and really play, if nothing else, you got the 6th win on the last weekend of the season sitting there waiting on you. If nothing else. So, hats off to Florida, man. You know, FSU done whooped y'all ass to Miami ass over the last few years, man. Now's our time to get kicked in return. But this ain't about that game. We'll talk about that later on. We'll talk about that in a couple weeks when it comes about. But this is about giving Florida the credit and the respect from me that they deserve. Hats off to Florida, man. I even said it. When y'all was talking about playing, when y'all was talking about playing Graham Mertz at the beginning of the year, I'm like, hey, man, from what I'm hearing, you might want to go ahead and play Lagway, because if you don't, he might be gone. Now, nobody wanted Mertz to get hurt, because we don't never want to, on this show, we don't do that. Nobody never wanted to see Mertz get hurt. But Mertz got hurt. Insert Lagway. We all knew that kid was special. And as long as he can maintain his health as long as he can maintain his health, he has something. The locker room, you guys like Billy Napier, the administration agreed with you, pretty much let you know they was going to extend him. And things are going to look bright for you. Again, college football, just like the NFL to a certain degree, is built around the quarterback. If you have a good one and you can have a decent offensive line, it ain't got to be great, but if you have a good one, it helps if he's a little mobile and you have a decent offensive line. A lot of things can go right for you in that scenario. LSU, all I'm going to do is just do this. Oh my God, Burn, this part of the program, Burn, you tune this out. You an LSU fan, and what I'm about to say this point going forward does not pertain to you. But the rest of your brethren, man, them dudes need to take a chill pill and then some. We tried to tell y'all that nobody, I said this, nobody had LSU winning anything. You couldn't get it done with a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. I don't know why on God's green earth you jokers thought that Nuss was going to get the job done. You got a new defensive coordinator. But guess what? That defense looked just as ass as it did last year. I mean, it looked a little better. Not by much. And especially in this 3-game losing streak, it don't look better at all. But I was told 3 weeks ago, well, it's probably 4 if you add all the weeks, but a few weeks ago, oh man, the showdown with Texas A&M, man, this is it. This is it, man. This is it, man. We ain't got, both of us is da-da-da-da. I heard all that crap. And what did Texas A&M do? Run the quarterback and beat choke. Took a bye week. Played Bama. I literally showed this on my timeline. I said, hey, man, this is a big mirror run game. Everybody knew this. I knew this. I'm way in Alabama. I'm sure your defensive coordinator knew this. I'm sure Alabama knew this. The whole nation knew what was about to happen. And what did you do? Milroe ran the ball down your, and you got blowed out at home. And then you follow that up. You go to the swamp. You still mathematically not out of it. And you go to the swamp. Control the game. And you couldn't beat a bad leg DJ Lagway in Florida. You want to talk about some damn irony. Then Billy Napier, coach right down the road in Louisiana. I know he did. I'm sure he did. I don't have to research it because I know y'all know, just like I know, he did. And what did you do? What did you do? You went to the swamp and did what? Took another damn L. Listen, man, it's a reason why nobody said you guys were going to win the SEC. Divisions are gone, as we know. Nobody had you guys winning the SEC except for you guys. And when the rubber met the road or meets the road or whichever way you want to term the phrase, you saw what happened. You lost to USC to open the season. You needed to beat Texas A&M in a game that everybody was watching. You lost. Had a reprieve with Bama. You lost. And then right when you were pretty much off everybody's radar, but you still was mathematically in it, you took your ass to the swamp and you lost again. So LSU fans, hey, man, listen. Hats off, good luck to you. Because all of that recruiting that you be hollering about, oh, man, we got the athletes, we got this, we got that. You're right. I would beg to differ if we start peeling them apart to pieces. You got better athletes in Texas A&M. Got better athletes in USC. You damn sure at this point in time got better athletes in Florida. All your losses, the only team that probably had better athletes or recruits or whatever, whichever one you want to call it, was probably Bama. So at the end of the day, man, take another winning season that will amount to absolutely nothing. So, hey, man, listen, man. As we wrap it up, I just want to say, man, to each and everybody, man, thank you guys for continuing to listen to me, man. Continuing to rock with me, man. Also, man, make sure you following the network on the Roku devices. As long as you got it, it's the Post Network. The show can be seen there. You can also see the show on YouTube. You know, we go live on Facebook, man. So thank each and every one of y'all for following me, giving me love, man. This is going to be show 1 of the week. I got another show I got to get to you on my prediction for this weekend because, hey, I got some thoughts about that Ohio State and Indiana game, much more, man, but I'm getting ready to go out of town, so I want to make sure that I get my predictions in. We're going to have that prediction show this week for you guys, man. So thank y'all for following the show, man. Continue to rock with me. I'm going to continue to rock with y'all and continue to give y'all more and more news. We're going to start talking about the NFL real soon, man. My Niners ain't looking. We lost another damn game in the last position, and we are 5-5. But Mahomes and the Chiefs lost. There you go, Buffalo. Hey, Buffalo. But we got more and more we're going to talk about, man, continuing on, man. So, man, hey, man, and that's playoff talk. I want more people. So, look, everybody listen to me and rock with me, man. Once the playoffs gets here, man, we're going to have more guests because we're going to have more people that's going to break it down because everything will be singular focused, and we're going to keep it right there, man. So just always remember, man. Also, man, remember, look at the sweatshirt, man. You are enough, man. And always remember to do what I say each and every show, man. Live, laugh, and love, man. Live your life to the fullest. Love on the people that love you back and find something to laugh at each and every day. And I'm out, man.